Hi student, welcome to chemistry classes. Now the chapter is P block element 2. The topic sulfuric acid preparation, properties and uses. So first to discuss preparation of sulfuric acid. The formula of sulfuric acid H2SO4. H2SO4 is known as sulfuric acid. You know, it is a very important one of the name for sulfuric acid is king of chemicals. It is a king of chemicals for sulfuric acid. King of chemical. So more important the word for is a special name or for sulfuric acid. Okay, because it is used in the laboratory reagent and then also used in the many preparation and the properties for the other compounds by using this sulfuric acid. So more important for this compound. Okay, so now discuss. So preparation. The preparation, that means manufacture. For industrial manufacture the sulfuric acid, there are two processes obtained. One is contact process, another one is a lead chamber process. You know, already discussed about for the lead chamber process in previous video. Okay, so now we have discussed about for the contact process. Manufacture of the contact process are more important for the sulfuric acid. Okay, so in this process we have used for the two compound. One is a sulfur, another one is a iron sulfide, like that is a iron pyrite. One is a sulfur compound, another is a iron sulfide compound. It is called iron pyrite compounds. And is oxidized with O2, that means oxygen. It is converted to sulfur dioxide. It is first the initial process for the lead chamber process. Okay, so sulfur or iron pyrite is converted into the sulfur dioxide SO2 compound. We have the produce. It is our first process for the lead contact process. Now this SO2 sulfur dioxide is converted into the sulfur trioxide by using the oxidation involved for the oxygen in presence of vanadium pentoxide or platinum asbestos. It is also catalyst. More important, it is the main question. It is dry or porous V2O5 vanadium pentoxide. It is act as a catalyst, and also or we are using all this compound platinum asbestos. So this sulfur dioxide is converted into the sulfur trioxide. This is a main important compound for the to prepare sulfuric acid. Some places directly SO3 is involved to form sulfuric acid, but it is a detailed process, step by step. Okay, so second step, the sulfur dioxide is converted to sulfur trioxide. Okay, next this sulfur trioxide to react with a concentrated sulfuric acid, that means to dissolve in a concentrated sulfuric acid to form oleum H2S2O7. Now concentrated sulfuric acid and the sulfur trioxide, here two hydrogen, here to one sulfur, so S2, 2 sulfur, here 4 oxygen, 3 oxygen, 7 oxygen. This oleum is prepared. This is a oleum. This is a very important compound. The contact process is the more important, the final step to produce for the oleum. This oleum is a concentrated acid to dissolve in a water. So it is dissolved in a water H2O. This oleum dissolved in a water to produce sulfuric acid H2SO4. So it is 3 steps involved for the sulfuric acid contact process. Okay student. So first step, sulfur is converted to sulfur dioxide or iron pyrite is converted to the sulfur dioxide. Further sulfur dioxide is oxidation by using the catalyst like vanadium pentoxide or platinum asbestos to produce SO3 sulfur trioxide. Further sulfur trioxide to react with concentrated sulfuric acid to produce oleum. That oleum treated with the water to form sulfuric acid. It is a manufacture. So in this process there are 3 involved for the major condition, very important, because the yield is produced 96%. Point number 1. This is one more question asking. Then pressure 2 bar pressure. Also temperature 720 Kelvin. These are the conditions to maintain for this sulfuric acid. Okay. So next to the physical properties of the sulfuric acid. So what are the physical properties of sulfuric acid? There are two properties are main important. One is a boiling point and then viscosity. You know about for the boiling point and then viscosity. These are the two point, that means sulfuric acid much more high. Why? Sulfuric acid viscosity and the boiling point high. Due to the reason the sulfuric acid molecule associated, that means to joining for the 1 or 2 mole of sulfuric acid to form hydrogen bond. Due to hydrogen bond, the single word, why? Boiling point and the viscosity more for sulfuric acid. It is a one word answer. It's a presence of hydrogen bond or formation of the hydrogen bond. You know the hydrogen bond. Less electronegative atom and more electronegative atom to form hydrogen bond. So it is a very much more due to for the hydrogen bond. This is a point number 1. Point number 2, it is a powerful dehydrating agent. It is a more important than another property for the sulfuric acid. We discuss about for the chemical properties. Why? Sulfuric acid acts as a dehydrating agent. That means to remove of the water molecule. So an example, you take oxalic acid and formic acid, sucrose or everything in the presence of sulfuric acid to remove the water molecule. To form carbon monoxide. It is a dehydrating agent. That's why it is a preparation and a physical properties of sulfuric acid. Okay. Now discuss about for the chemical properties. So oxidizing nature, oxidizing property, so acidic nature, oxidizing property, reduction with the metal, reaction with non-metal like that salt, reaction with salt, also to react in the organic compounds. These are the step by step we have discussed. Okay, so first sulfuric acid when decomposed to form water molecule and a sulfur trioxide. It is a more important compound. So sulfuric acid is a decomposed. Sulfuric acid decompose water and a sulfur trioxide. So most of the reaction or cases you knew about for the sulfuric acid to produce a water molecule. For the sulfur trioxide, some place to give for the sulfur dioxide also. Okay, so first acidic property. You know the name sulfuric acid. Acid means to donate H plus ion. So sulfuric acid to easily to liberate for the H plus ion. So this acid to react with base to form salt. Generally, you know, acid and the base to form salt. So here sulfuric acid to react with a base like sodium hydroxide, also ammonia is another base. Also two base to react sulfuric acid to form the salt product. So sulfuric acid to react with sodium hydroxide, you know the formula, NaOH to form sodium bisulfate. It is also called a sodium bisulfate. It is also salt compound. Further to react with the sodium, excess amount sodium hydroxide to form sodium sulfate. This is also sodium sulfate. Next, to react with ammonia to form ammonium sulfate. So these are the three salts we have prepared for the sulfuric acid by using acidic nature. Okay. Then next, oxidizing property. Do you know the oxidizing property? It is oxidized to the other substance. Okay, so you take carbon, like it is also carbon, sulfur, H2S, etc. Also hydrogen iodide. So hydrogen iodide to react with a sulfuric acid to form another compound. Suppose sulfuric acid oxidizing property to produce for the oxygen. Here sulfur acts as a +6 oxidation state. Here also it is act as a +4 oxidation state. So +6 to +4, decreasing the oxidation number is called reduction. So it is act as a oxidizing property to reduce for the other substance. this oxygen involved for this compound, for this oxygen involved for this carbon, this sulfur, etc. So you see it is called sulfuric acid to react with the carbon to form carbon dioxide, also SO2. Also another non-metal sulfur to react with sulfuric acid is also SO2. Hydrogen iodide, it is iodide ion, that means here I minus converted into the I2 iodine molecule. So here the oxidation number increases, is I minus, here is converted to the I2, the oxidation number is increases, so it is also oxidizing property. So many of the cases to react with the non-metal, carbon, sulfur, hydrogen iodide, H2S also. Some places involved for the H2S, hydrogen sulfide, to react with the sulfuric acid to produce that corresponding the compound. So it is a oxidizing property. Already we have discussed for the another one questions. What is oxidizing property? How to say? Okay. Then next to reaction with metal. It is a important question. Metal like zinc, aluminium, copper, lead. These are the sulfuric acid to react with these are the metal to produce for the corresponding the compounds. So here the various sulfuric acid involved like dilute sulfuric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid. So zinc to react with the dilute sulfuric acid to form zinc sulfate to produce only for the hydrogen gas. More important. So dilute acid to produce for the hydrogen gas only. So zinc to react sulfuric acid, zinc sulfate. Aluminum to react with sulfuric acid, aluminum sulfate. But your copper and lead to react with the sulfuric acid is a con-sulfuric acid to liberate for the SO2 gas. Here copper and lead to react with the sulfuric acid to corresponding the copper sulfate, lead sulfate, and then also not for the liberate for the hydrogen gas to liberate for the SO2 gas, sulfur dioxide gas. That is a major difference between the two various concentration of sulfuric acid like dilute sulfuric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid to react metal, zinc, aluminium, copper and lead. That is a corresponding the compound is 2 days. So another main important cases, more important like non-metals, also gold, silver, gold and platinum, and then sulfuric acid is a no reaction. Okay. So next reaction with salt. So KCl also KNO3 also KNO3 is to react with a sulfuric acid to form potassium bisulfate, also potassium sulfate. So potassium sulfate also HNO, nitric acid is also produced. This is another important compound. To react salt, sulfuric acid to react with salt to produce for the acid like HCl and then nitric acid. Another important. So finally, the sulfuric acid to react with the organic compound like benzene. It is a solvent. Sulfuric acid is also another one of the solvent. So these are the two reactions to react with the benzene and the sulfuric acid to form benzene sulfonic acid is a form. Is another important. So these are the some chemical properties of the about for sulfuric acid. So next important test, how to identify the sulfuric acid. So various tests is involved, but it is a two tests are more important. Very simple, already know. That means a practical class we have discussed more detail. So here you take the salt, barium chloride, by using the salt. Also lead acetate, it is another one of the compound to react with the sulfuric acid to form white precipitate. That means a curdy white precipitate, that is to settle down. So it is a confirm for the sulfuric acid. So metal chloride like barium chloride to react with the sulfuric acid to form barium sulfate is called white precipitate. So the sulfuric acid is identified for the sulfuric acid. Also lead sulfate to react with the sulfuric acid to form lead acetate to react with the sulfuric acid to form lead sulfate. It is also white precipitate. So these are the most important the test for the sulfuric acid. Okay, so asking the two more questions. So final uses of sulfuric acid. So some point here they discuss sulfuric acid act as a dehydrating agent, so oxidizing property to prepare the salt sodium bisulfate, sodium ammonium sulfate, sodium sulfate, etc. So these are the major uses for the sulfuric acid. Here it is used the fertilizer, that means NPK, it is a fertilizer, also sodium sulfate, also sulfur phosphate, it is NPK, it is a fertilizer for the farmer by using the farmer. Okay, also HCl to manufacture of the acids like HCl, HNO3, for HCl, also HNO3, it is also salt. So these are the major compound used for sulfuric acid. So another property, it is act as a dehydrating agent, already discussed. It is a removal of the water molecule. Another is a pigment, it is a coloring agent, and then more important, it is also explosive. Nitrate substance is also explosive. So these are the more important property for the sulfuric acid, that means uses of sulfuric acid. Okay student, thank you.